Hi, how are you? Welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truth, guiding you to your truth potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. How is everyone? I know I'm coming on earlier is because I have some personal, I guess some personal, I guess appointments. And so here I am, and whoever's watching, you know what I'm all about. I'm all about, we're in the fifth dimension, we are healing. I make suggestions to kind of help you climb out of the matrix and realize that there's another reality. And I'm a truth seeker. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a truth seeker. And maybe I'm a rebel like you. I'm a dark horse. The dark horse is the least likely to win the race. Are you a dark horse? I am. Well, so, there's a lot going on out there in that matrix, in that linear world, isn't there? That three-dimensional world. And sometimes I don't have a choice. I'm working in the matrix, and I'm spending time with family members in the matrix. And so I don't really have a choice about it, but eventually I'm hoping, I'm sure like you, that we're all going to be on the new earth. And we're not going to a different place. We're just going to have a different awareness, a different consciousness. So this physical reality is going to shift, and we are evolving and transforming with the earth to a place of nature and love and free energy. And none of these systems, all of those systems in the matrix, are in the trash. Have you sensed that lately? Are you seeing what's going on out there? Some very peculiar situations. Well, before I move on into that, a little minor discussion about that, I want to remind you what our topics are tonight. Nesara Gesara, I'm sure you've heard about that. No more IRS. And I'm going to share light language. And I've mentioned that before because light language is something you're going to start to understand what it is. Because as you awaken, as you come out of your slumber, and your memory comes back because you've had amnesia like I have. And as all of these energies come onto the earth and you become more of a light being, you will be crystalline light. You will understand what light language is. And then I'm going to get on to the Arcturian Council. And I sense that that's important right now because I've been receiving telepathic messages from an Arcturian. And then I'm also going to speak about the first contact that's coming. So disclosure. Now, I might seem as though I'm premature in some of my topics because very few out there, I don't even know the percentage, that have awakened. However, we know that in the last week, we've heard all about UFOs. Extraterrestrials, aliens, spaceships. And there was 3 encounters or experiences allegedly within the United States, Canada. I know it was one of the Carolinas, and there was another one. And it began last week with this Chinese balloon. And they said this Chinese balloon was 3 times the size of a bus. And this weather balloon came in over the United States, and then we shot it down. And then what preceded that was these 3 situations with UFOs, which are unidentified flying objects. So was that a spaceship? No, it was something else. And we really haven't even gotten to see exactly what that was. But I don't believe it was really a UFO. Do I believe in UFOs? Yes. Was what came into and over our continent a UFO? I don't think so. I think it was either a distraction to take us away from some of the events that's happened in the USA, or you can tell I'm tired today. I'm like stumbling through my words. I'm so exhausted. I was awake at 4 a.m. Personal story. And all of this information was coming into my mind. And I was worried about closure on this, closure on that. Did I take care of this or that? And I never went back to sleep. And that's why I'm kind of trying to catch up right now. So I apologize if I'm kind of out of it. I'm tired. And these 3 UFOs, identified flying objects, that came over the United States of America, the corporation, were not UFOs. They were man-made. They were either a distraction or, oh, now I'm getting back to my point, or they were actually something done by maybe the white hats to give us what's called a soft release and share with us. And I'm going to get into the Arcturians because they gave some kind of statement about it. And this soft release would allow those who are not awakened and those who don't believe in UFOs to kind of consider maybe it's true, because the president was talking about it. There was press conferences. There were all of these mainstream media, the fake news, the predictive programming, paid programming. They all had discussions about it on CNN and Fox News. And I even mentioned this in one of the other videos this week, which was astounding to have these major mainstream media news outlets discussing UFOs. So is it taking the humor away? Do I think that it's funny? I think it's funny that it's taken such a long time for this to unravel and it to be a consideration. I don't really think it's funny if it's made a joke, because I'm going to get into what is going on right now in our physical reality. Now, before I speak about Nesara Gesara, I just want to remind you about angels. Angels are beings of light, and they come from the heavens to earth here to protect humanity. And they are celestial beings. They're benevolent. They ascend and descend on a staircase from heaven, and they're here to guide us, to protect us, and they're messengers. And maybe you have a little whisper in your ear of information, or a tingling on the top of your head, or maybe you're given some kind of warning to jump out of the way of danger. And that just might be one of these angels that have, I guess, shared information with you to warn you and protect you from some kind of dire event. In fine arts, angels have wings and halos, and there's some archangels like Archangel Michael. Hey, Tommy, how are you tonight? Wow, or today, I should say. It's not even tonight. It's 4:30 here in New York. Hello. And so there's 9 ranks of angels, and they say that we have 2 guardian angels that are with us since birth, and they're around us, and they're there to bring us to safety and lift us over some kind of situation that we might be in danger from. I'm also, before I get on Nesara Gesara, I'm also going to remind you of, do I have it? I'm going to say light on the horizon, because I always had these dreams that I walked into a room and there was a window, it was a rectangle, and I'd go up to the window, and through the window I would see the sun rising, and there would be golden yellows and oranges and reds, and I'd look out onto the horizon. I have these dreams, and light on the horizon means good things are coming beyond a difficult situation, and things will improve beyond your view. It's good luck. So let's all remind ourselves once in a while to get out in the morning and maybe set our alarm clock and see a sunrise, because a sunrise might just activate your heart, crack open that beautiful glowing light in your heart, a spark of light, something like that. Consider it. And maybe even spend 5 to 15 minutes every day in nature if you get a chance. All right. Well, anyone who's joining us, I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. I know I didn't give much warning. Everyone thought I'd be at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, but that's okay, because you can watch this on the replay. Oh, and I want to remind you, tomorrow I'm doing an interview with Psychic Evelyn, And it's going to be premiered tomorrow afternoon, probably after 3 o'clock. It's probably going to run 45 minutes, and you can learn all about Psychic Evelyn, and she'll share with us any predictions she has, and she pulls cards. She has different kinds of cards. She's angel cards, and she'll even read someone out there. If someone wants to offer their name, she probably would give a reading. Oh, well, it's going to be taped. I don't know how that's going to go. If anyone wants to get a reading, write in the chat today. Psychic Evelyn will pull a card for you, and I'll tell them who you are. Just so you know, it might be interesting. She's very accurate. She's coming from Scotland. She's lovely. You're going to just love her. So that's going to be on my channel, this channel, tomorrow afternoon, the premiere, and it's Living in the Light, and it's an interview with Psychic Evelyn. So Nesara Gesara, we've mentioned that before, and I felt like, hey, why not? I think we should talk about it again. And why is that? Why should we talk about it? Because all the systems are breaking down, they're crumbling, they're crashing, they are completely flatlining. There will be none of these systems left pretty soon. And what's going to happen? Well, everything's changing and shifting. It really is out there. Now, yesterday, I want to share with you, I did not do a video because I had a very strange afternoon. The day before, I had that telepathic contact communication in the morning with that extraterrestrial, that Arcturian. I realized it was an Arcturian. And so yesterday, some strange things happened to me. I was at my job in the Matrix. Oh, by the way, it's February 17th, Friday in the Matrix work week. I always like to say what day it is because just in the future, who knows, we can kind of forecast what was I talking about on that day. So it's February 17th. And so yesterday afternoon, I was in my job in the Matrix. I was between 1 and 3 o'clock. Around 1 o'clock, it started. Personal story here before I get into Nesara Gesara. And all of a sudden, I had eaten my lunch. And all of a sudden, I felt this really weird energy come over me. And it was not like anything I'd ever experienced. It was strong. It was powerful. It was like this vibrations, this energy. And I kind of felt queasy. And it felt as though the room was a little, not spinning, but it was shifting. And I kept trying to figure out what it was because you know how I am. I like to know all the boundaries. I like to figure it out. I love a good mystery. There's always that girl in high school who said, can we read a mystery to my English teacher? And so I'm like, what's going on here? This feels really strange. And I even was saying, maybe I should call my boss and say I'm going home because I don't feel good. Am I okay? And it was taking over all of me. It wasn't like just my stomach or my arms or my legs. It was every part of me. It was my physical being. It was my emotional being. And I think it was my mental being. And I just felt really, really queasy. And it went on for a little bit, went on for a while. And I just sat there and said, I think I'm just going to sit here for a while because I'm not really quite sure what it is. And that's what I'm getting at today. I'm getting at, I don't know what's going on. I know we had these 3 alleged UFOs that we shot down, but we haven't seen any photos. And if you know what a UFO looks like, they're not sharing what they shot down. And then we had that Chinese balloon. Then we had that earthquake. There was that enormous reddish orange cloud. It was very strange looking. It kind of went around almost like a vortex in the center. It was like there was some kind of line going around. And you know, when something goes down a drain, when water goes down a drain, it looked like that reddish orange cloud. And then a few days later, what happened? That earthquake, that 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Turkey. And thousands upon thousands of humans died, passed away. And then I heard about another one over Argentina. So I said, oh my gosh, is there going to be the same similar looking orangish red cloud? Now, the earthquake, they say, was it HAARP? Was it a weather a weather machine, the HARP weather machine, and we had a video about that. We spoke about that. That was one of our topics. What was the cause of the earthquake? Was it a natural disaster? Was it an event, an environmental event that happened? Was it man-made artificial? I really sense that all the disclosure, long line of disclosures are coming. And so I'm bringing up again Nesara Gesara. Now we all know tax season's coming. It's in April. And are you going to file your taxes? Is the Federal Reserve still there? Have they shut down? We spoke about the walls around the Federal Reserve, just like the wall around the Capitol. Is the Federal Reserve there? They're speaking about this Nesara Gesara law, which is the National Economic Security and Recovery Act. So it would cancel all credit cards. Boy, am I crossing my fingers for this. I'm hoping and praying. But you know what? I believe it's going to happen because I believe the solar flash is going to happen, and I believe that we are going to have first official contact with extraterrestrials, and we are all going to see these magnificent ships. But let me tell you, if the energy is anything like what I experienced yesterday, it's going to be a little bit of an eye-opening experience, and we're not going to necessarily feel so good at first because it's different energies and frequencies that we are going to have to adapt to. So Nesara Gesara would cancel out credit cards. Take away mortgages, no mortgage, no credit card, no bank debt. I love it, love it, love it. I want this. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's Friday in the Matrix work week. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm excited about it. So it's all due to all this illegal banking because we know if we all rush down to the bank right now, if you and I just hop, skipped, and jump before they close, they're not closed yet. My bank isn't. Could we get all our money out? And how much money could we take out? Would they allow us? So this would be a forgiveness of debt. And this is due to illegal banking and illegal government activities. Because where is all the money? And they just keep printing it. And then the inflation, when you go to the supermarket, like this morning I went before my job in the Matrix. And what happened? Go in there and running it through, scanning it through. And I'm not really getting very much for my money, am I, anymore? And then I'm saying, oh my gosh, it doesn't leave you much left. And then they throw the tax on. So what they're saying is going to happen, this law, which I'm very excited about, cross my fingers. And if we all, our thoughts are very powerful, we all imagine no more IRS, no more IRS. What will happen? No more IRS. So one, it would abolish, I'm going to give you a couple of points that are in this Nesara Gesara, not all of them, just a few. It would abolish all income tax, which is the number one, isn't it? And abolishes the IRS. Ta-da! All done. 2, we'd have something like a flat rate for non-essential items. Food and medical would not be taxed. Sounds good to me. 3, they would monitor elections. Now, are we going to have another election? The last one just didn't seem really legit to me. Sorry to say, but I didn't really believe that was real. What do I always say? They're selected, not elected officials. 4, new presidential and Congress elections within 120 days. This sounds good. You all rah, 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 check, check, check to all this. A new U.S. Treasury currency backed by gold and silver. Well, I think we should have this new quantum financial system. They would cease all aggressive U.S. military actions worldwide. I like it, You liking it? Peace on Earth, that's one of them. Imagine peace on Earth. We'd all come out of our homes and hug one another. It's going to happen, I'm telling you. I'm sharing with you because I'm tuning in and I'm making a premonition that we're going to have peace on Earth. We're going to realize they're going to release 6,000 patents that they've withheld from the public. And they're all about frequency, free energy, anti-gravity, sonic healing machines. So there's a lot out there that we have to look forward to. And I thought I'd start off tonight. Tonight's a really good evening. I've been talking about some dark stuff lately. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to get into the light, go to the light. We're going to the light. So light language, what exactly is that? I don't know if you've been with me before that I've mentioned it, but I've received some light language. So now it could be when you are about to wake up or you're about to go to sleep and you're activated because you've awakened, you've expanded your awareness. Maybe you're someone that's been doing meditation. Maybe you've been practicing psychic phenomenon right here with us. You know, ESP, extrasensory perception. And you've been working that side of you that never was worked unless you came from a family of psychics and you were nurtured. No one really said to you, hey, let's do mind to mind. Let's pass information back and forth. And it does take practice because you haven't used that side of you. Well, as you activate your DNA blueprint within you, because 100% of your DNA is worthy, not 2% like they told us, 100%. And as you come online, because more light that comes onto the earth, more of these frequencies and energies, and they're coming from the solar flares, from the sun, they're coming from just the earth repairing itself and healing, and it's coming onto you. And so it's shining all light within you. That's what's going on. So all of the darkness that's within you, all of your issues, all of your trauma, if you have a imprint from a trauma, if you had something very traumatic happen to you, maybe as a child, maybe some more than one event, one circumstance that you had in your life, and it really hurt your heart. It could even be something current you're going through right now, maybe a loss. Maybe you're not feeling great physically. You have too much stress. It's chronic stress and it just wears you down. You're having more light come into your system. As more light comes into your system, you're activating all of you, all these light codes. And these light codes are like little ancient codes, healing codes, and they wake you up about something that you weren't really aware of. And what I've experienced myself is I'll be reminded of something or someone that happened in my life. And it might be, I put it aside. I said, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to put it aside. I stuffed it down into me. Or I covered it up and I hid that part of me because I was ashamed. I had shame related to it. And I don't want anyone to know this part about me. Or I'm embarrassed. Or it was just pain. It might be anger, whatever it was. The more that light comes onto you, the more that you're awakened to this new reality, this new consciousness, this new outlook, you're going to experience light language. So light language is going to look something like this. And maybe it's going to look with the white, but maybe it's going to be blue. Maybe it's going to be purple. It's almost like at Christmas time when you're driving around your neighborhood and there's light. There's light. People have lights set up. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. They have lights outside their home. It's going to be something like that, except it's going to be, I don't know if you ever did Light Bright when you were a kid and you put the pegs in. It looks something like this. So light language is galactic, angelic, ancient, and futuristic. It's powerful soul language, energy. And so your activated DNA light codes align with you and your truest self. So it's bringing more of you forward. It's like you're lighting up. It's as though you were in the closet and you came out and you saw maybe the most beautiful nature scene and it brightened you up. It cracked open light within your heart, and that's what's going to happen to you. So you're going to begin channeling from another realm, soon to be existing in our physical reality. So allowing this possibility might look like this, might be sacred geometry, allowing the possibility. So what I'm trying to share with you is, I bring up topics to bring awareness, and I'm bringing awareness related to this so that if and when it happens to you, because it will happen to you, you don't push it away. You say, oh, you know what? That's right. Mary spoke about this. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept this light language. So allow this possibility of light language to start realizing your ability to communicate with higher realms of consciousness. I heard about light language when Julie Clark, the angelic channeler who I did the interview with on Saturday, spoke about it with me 2 years ago. She told me about light language and she did it for me and she spoke in light language. And I thought, what is that? That seems so unusual to me. It's very fascinating. I have no idea. And then I started experiencing it. Now, I cannot speak light language, but I can see light language and I've seen it. So there's different types of light language, spoken, signed, and written. So these are examples of written in different combinations. Maybe they're hand gestures. So people might say, do something with their hands. Body language, facial expressions. Light language is not communicated through words. It's through tones. It might be through sensations. So channeling light language from other beings in other realms or star systems come from your higher self. It's healing and joining spiritual, physical. Light language is an alternative healing modality, and it comes through in different ways and different symbols. So here's some other symbols that you might experience. Now I'm sharing different possibilities because I don't want you to believe that it's just one way. Like when I speak to you about your psychic phenomenon and your clairsenses, I remind you that what I experience and what someone else experiences, maybe in the chat and they speak about it, is not, none of us are going to have the same response because it's an individual, just like you are an authentic being of light. And we speak about your 3 characteristics, and there's no one else like you, and you're a beautiful being of light. It's the same with this light language. It's going to be an experience. Maybe there's a little bit of crossover, similarity, but for the most part, you might receive it a little bit in a different version of what I'm sharing. So light language is intense energies with spiritual activation, combines physics, and illuminates your divine spirit. So there's sacred geometry, light, and it's a form of channeling where the speaker feels compelled to speak, maybe sing words, maybe make words, make sounds, make tones. Now, I experienced it visually, and then I had this Arcturian try to communicate with me through light language. And I said, I can't understand the other day. And then we kind of figured out a way to change our levels, our vibrational frequency. And then I could understand what he was saying. And I say he because he seemed a little bit more like a male to me. So a form of channeling where the speaker feels compelled to speak or sing words, tones, sounds directly to you, to your body, and at a subatomic DNA level. So light language is a type of high vibrational frequency of sound. Now, when I woke up one evening and I was speaking light language, I don't remember what I said, but I could speak in this light language. And to me, it was an extension of a word. In other words, it wasn't the word, let's say we said pretty. It was purr. So it was an extension of a sound. That's what I experienced. And it's images, codes, shapes found in your DNA, powerful sacred gifts. Now, are these already within you, or are they given to you in real time? It's within you and it's activated. And then through these visuals that we see when we're coming out of a sleep, maybe it's a lucid dream, you're coming out of sleep. Now, I'm receiving it now during my waking life. So it's not just at night. And it's a way of activating you. And it's basically you becoming familiar. So I'm sharing this information so you become more and more familiar with this new awareness, these new concepts. Because We never went to telepathy school, but now we are. So light language allows us to pick up information from realms beyond what is commonly accessed. Some people have begun healing mysterious dialogue or language in their thoughts, and you may wake from a dream having telepathically conversed in galactic dialect, which is what happened to me. So it's tones, visuals, and sacred geometry. So just be aware, and the fact that I'm mentioning this to you, maybe you will be activated and you will receive some light language this evening. Write in the chat, tell me where you're coming from. I'm in New York. I'm only 45 minutes outside of New York City. Now, I'm going to move on to the next topic. If anyone wants to join me and say anything in the chat, go ahead. I want to get on to Arcturian Council, because this is this new thing that's going on with me. So Arcturians. Now I mentioned Arcturians the other day, but now since Wednesday, I had all these, I guess, epiphanies about Arcturians. So an Arcturian looks like this. It's an extraterrestrial, an alien. You could say an alien. And as soon as I hold up an extraterrestrial, are you all there? So an Arcturian, I'm going to share for you from this book. And I got this book, and it's by, if you want to get one of these, Craig Cambasso. And he has this actually in many languages. So if you're not speaking English, you can get this in another language. It's translated. And so I'm going to hold this up, and I'm going to talk about what his book says about Arcturians. And then I'm going to share you some information that I received about Arcturians and some passages in the last 24 hours, someone that channeled an Arcturian, and what the Arcturian Council said about soft disclosure happening and how it's a good thing. This UFO thing, this UAP thing is meant to be, because it's wising everyone up, which means that the motherships will be here soon. So Arcturians come from Arcturus, a red giant star in the northern hemisphere of the Earth's sky and the brightest star in the constellation. So there's physical characteristics of Arcturians. Male and female Arcturians appear somewhat uniform with slight variations in features and heights from 10 to 12 feet. Their bodies are thin with lanky arms and legs. When they walk, they glide with elegance. Their skin is either blue or milk white. They have large craniums with small noses and mouths. Arcturians in higher density forms are that of light and consciousness. Depending on what density they are from, their appearance alters. The higher the density, the more they become light. So I'll share with you, they believe in the cosmic law of one. We are all connected. They serve all universal kinds of stewards of love and light. So they have an agenda. And the agenda is about assisting and creating templates in the fifth and higher dimension. Now they're from the ninth dimension. Now we've been living in the dense 3 dimension. We are traveling together. The more that you're in love and light, it's the 5th dimension. We want to have both feet in love and light, which means compassion, forgiveness. When we spoke about the scale, vibrationally. The higher vibration you have, it's joy and love. It's up here. It's 1,000. We spoke about fear, which is the matrix is all about fear. 20, shame, 20. You're vibrating at 20. That's very sad. We want to get out of that. We want to tune inward, and we want to ask ourselves, are we okay? How are we feeling? Why don't we do that right now? Why doesn't everyone tune inward? Tune into your heart. How are you feeling? I'm going to ask myself that as well. Well, I'm feeling relieved because I feel more validated lately. More validated. Now, this is a picture. I don't know if you can see it because it's very It's very, gray colored. It's black and white. And that looks like an Arcturian. So Arcturians have these very large heads. They have consciousness abilities. They're fully conscious and sovereign beings, and they use light essence language. So they use light language. They are holographic and sympathetic telepaths. And they are able to access wave bending to send messages across the universe. Okay, so let me get into some of the information I found, and I'm going to just hold up some more pictures. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because the Arcturians, one visited me. So I am traveling down the rabbit hole. Traveling down the rabbit hole to find out exactly what's going on with all of this. And this was the third visit from this Arcturian. So Arcturians. So the Arcturian alien race, known for healing, Arcturians are a group of conscious extraterrestrial race that is highly evolved and comes from a blue planet orbiting the giant star Arcturus. Arcturus is about 36 light years from our solar system. Wow, that's pretty far. Light years. How long does it take to get there? Well, apparently they can do all this instantaneously. I'd like to get in a ship and instantaneously go to Arcturus. So Arcturians are a galactic civilization renowned for their ability to heal instantly. So in other words, we've spoken about the other day, the med pods where you walk in to this bubble. You just open the door and walk in and you receive this healing frequency and you're healed. Well, allegedly, apparently, Arcturians can heal instantly. They've mastered manifesting instantly as well, so they can create whatever they want. These higher beings working with the evolution of Earth and humanity. And oneness and unity consciousness sounds right up our alley, isn't it? They're leaders with high intelligence and they're natural analysts, and they are strong. They are healers and capable of energetic perfection, purification, grounding, and soul awareness. I'm going to give you some information. A download, some channeling done and received by, what's his name? It's this one guy. He's famous for doing it. I'm going to have to look up. I found him on my social media. His name is Daniel Scratton. Look him up, Daniel Scratton. And he channels the 9-dimensional Arcturian Council. And I'm going to give you some of his information that he came up with in the last 2 days. So Arcturians are gentle, loving, and non-judgmental. Sounds lovely. They're able to travel through time, and they may travel on mother ships. Arcturus is an orange giant star, 37 light years from Earth. So the Arcturian Council, who are they exactly? Well, the Arcturian Council. Now, this is like very cartoon-esque. When you see one of these ETs, as though they're looking right at you, maybe you sense that they are right here with you when you see them. Like I've seen them in these light codes, these activations. When you see them, it seems very dimensional. It doesn't look flat like this. So just know that. Okay, so here we go. Now this is the soft disclosure that's happening right now. This is what Daniel Scratton channeled in the last 2 days. He says from the Arcturians, having mainstream media and government officials, including the military, talk about the possibility that they could have been extraterrestrial is very good for all of you who want the extraterrestrials, ETs, to hurry up and land their ships already. You're being readied for that experience. Soft disclosure is happening. In other words, instead of this very much in-your-face disclosure, we are going to slowly find out about it so everyone becomes more acclimated. So this soft disclosure is happening, and it will continue to happen, and it will continue to be less laughter around the idea of extraterrestrial life. Okay. So Daniel Scratton channeled that. Here we go. This was a message in the last 6 months. That message came through yesterday from Daniel Scratton. Now here's a message that Daniel had from October. So how many months ago that was? We're in February, so it was 4 months ago. This is what he received. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. The transmission that must come forward is to tell you that the Arcturians will be landing shortly. We are hovering close, but to landfall, we will need 2 things. No sweeping under the rug. We are here making a statement this time. We are coming to your planet. We have our reasons. Our arrivals will initiate a new way of thinking. What was once thought the main source of news will be wasted away. It is in place. There will be our broadcasts, and we will provide so that the people have real facts in real time. We have technology more advanced than on Earth, and we will not be shot down. There will be attempts that will fail. It will be portrayed to plot against. We will be portrayed to plot against humans. Believe us when we say that they are running the plot. We are being true. We do not fear your government. The government fears us. Okay, so that was a transmission that he received back in October. Now, what I understand is going to happen next is going to be this first contact. So what's the first contact mean? That means that we are actually going to experience in real time in the physical dimension, and it's going to be, I don't know how far away that is. This extraterrestrial UFO, I don't know. It just depends on what's going to happen with, I guess, how quickly everyone starts to awaken, maybe. So first contact means, the first official contact means that we will experience seeing with our eyes in the physical reality a spaceship, an extraterrestrial. And so the first for the government has been to deny us. We need them to blatantly say spaceships will not land on Earth. We need them to declare that they do not exist. Upon doing so, the energy shifts. The American people will feel at ease. We are safe now. Right now, there is a fright. The aliens are going to abduct us. Now, if we are going to arrive, they say, instant fear. We need there to be no threat perceived. In other words, the extraterrestrials are looking for us to say it's safe for them to come, because it's going to be better for everyone if they are accepting of it. If they're going to be told that it's a threat, if extraterrestrials and spaceships are a threat, then they will not come. If we are to arrive instant fear, we need there to be no threat perceived. When the airways open up to less fear, we can enter without a cause of hysteria. The second item is for Mother Earth to provide the chosen location. Mother Earth will stir things up, and that will be our cue that that location is ready for a visit. There will be an area of your country that has devastation, and that will be a target to us. We will choose that location for the most media coverage. So all ages, all eyes on that area, and camera will be rolling. The reason that we are making such a grand entrance is to provide the people the opportunity to see firsthand of our existence. So that is what is going to happen. And I'm sharing this with you ahead of time. Here we are, February 17th, and I'm telling you what's going to happen. There'll be no more IRS. We'll be seeing light language when we're sleeping. When we're waking up, we'll have a lucid dream. And we will be hearing from the Arcturian Council, and we will receive first contact. Okay, so before I go, because I'm going to be leaving in a few minutes, I have, like I told you, a personal appointment, and I am going to do some clairvoyance with you. So our clairvoyance, our psychic phenomenon, here we are a little bit before the 1 hour mark, but here we are. And I'm appreciative of everyone who joined me today and was here. And I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel so more can find us. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay if there's just a few of us. I'm okay with that. It's just one by one. And that's how I always did my healing. That's how I always did my practice. It was one-on-one. And you know what? That's okay. Grassroots. Here we go. So clairvoyance, here's our little chart. We speak about clairvoyance, which is the psychic ability to detect or see spirits and other entities as they roam the spiritual or physical realms and interact with them using a combination of other clairsenses. You can also receive clairaudience. You might receive clairsustenance, which is receiving impressions through your heart, through your feelings. You might have claircognizance, which is claircognizance is the psychic ability of knowing about certain situations, people, places, or things from the past, present, or future without anyone telling you. Now, everything related to our clairsenses is us receiving energy, it's energy, receiving information from another source. Now, the more you practice this, the more you will become better at it. Now, if you say anything's possible, why don't I try it? You'll receive more impressions. And the more you become accustomed to doing this, the better chance you have of having concentration and focus and staying in the moment when you receive the impression. It might seem like weird. It comes through in a flash and you say, oh, what's that? I don't know if I want it. And I still do it myself because it's another energy. It's another frequency. And we're not necessarily used to it. It's good frequency. It's good energy. It's positive. Not so much like the energies from the 5G and the cell towers and all of that stuff out there, the man-made, artificial, that's hurting us, maybe causing ailments within our systems and disturbing our tranquility. We want to have calmness. We want to be pure beings of light. We want to have personal serenity. And so let's do some clair work. Let's do some psychic phenomenon. Now, what I'd suggest to you is let's go through the few steps before, and then I tell you some kind of circumstance that you're going to focus on. And let's see if you receive any information, any impressions. I apologize. I'm a little bit out of it today. I'm exhausted. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I couldn't go back to sleep. And it's been a long week. But it's Friday. Yay. So tomorrow I have that interview with Psychic Evelyn, and I'll be posting it tomorrow afternoon on this channel. All right. And I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary, and I'm coming live from New York. All right. So let's relax. Like we always say, we're relaxing. I need to let out a breath. I'm tired. So we're relaxing our body parts. Now, the more that you really, really sit down, put all your weight in your chair or wherever you are, if you're laying down, the more that you let go. So the more you let go, the more you're going to receive. It's going to be, what's that? That's a strange sound. The more that you relax, the more impressions you will receive easily. It's the wind. I think it's raining and windy out. All right, so we're relaxing like we're a rag doll. We're putting all of our weight in the chair, wherever if you're laying down, you're just plopping down, like we say, maybe a jellyfish. So let go of any kind of stress or tension you have in your limbs, your legs, your arms. And I always say you can drop down your head, but don't drop it down so that you're cutting off any kind of energy traveling through your body. So maybe just have like a little bit of relaxation in your neck. If you want to turn your neck around, you're letting out a breath. And we are going to do 3 inhales and exhales at a 12 count so that we have more of a natural flow of breathing. And also we're pushing away thoughts because we're not using any thoughts. We're just focusing on our clair senses. It could be your touch, your feeling, your hearing, your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, your knowing. All of this is a knowing, information you're receiving from an outside source. So let's do some breathing because we want to focus on our breath. Okay, ready? Maybe you want to inhale through your nose or your mouth at a 12 count. So we're doing that. I'd like you to continue to focus on your breath. We're pushing away any thoughts. We don't need our thoughts. This is not critical thinking. And we're going to drop down and surrender to our clair senses, our physical senses. Dropping down, making contact, having concentration, having focus. And now I'd like you to choose one of your senses, one or two, because we're mastering at least one, possibly can master three. It's practice, that's all it is. And you're going to take away any doubt. You have self-confidence, you can accomplish this task. You can tune into one of your clair senses, and let's see if we receive any impressions. So we've dropped down, we have a regular flow of breathing. We're relaxed, like a rag doll. I'm going to make a suggestion. I'm going to make a suggestion that you're going to tune into, and I'm giving this suggestion of an instance that you will have in the future of love. So you'll be receiving love. So you tune into one of your clair senses, and what kind of impressions are you receiving about this future date? And I'm going to be quiet, and maybe you'll receive a mental image, a sound, a tone, a conversation. You might go to another place. You might channel someone or something. You might see something in your future. So the suggestion is, as you tune in, is you're going to a future date, future event that you will receive love. And I'm going to be quiet. I'm tuning into my clairaudience, my hearing. Okay, so I received some information about a future date that I will receive love. And I had impressions, and it was coming from, I'll share a personal experience. You can share anything you want in the chat. I received love from family members, and it started out, I'll just tell you exactly what I saw. So I heard some noise. Not noise, I heard conversations, I should say, not noise. I heard some sounds, and it was some family members, and they were hugging me. And then I said, okay, well, that's too, I don't want my thoughts to take over. What exactly? And then I saw the situation. I saw exactly where we were. walking down a street, and then I was receiving hugs from them. And it was very vivid. And it's not at first. You have to have patience. We should remind everyone to have patience when we're having these experiences, because it's not the norm. We don't receive information this way. We don't really tune into our senses, do we? We see it, we receive information by seeing. Maybe someone calls you up on the phone, maybe you're watching it on the television, or you're out in an event or somewhere, and that's how you receive information. You don't receive it from downloads or impressions. So I think it's practice and getting accustomed, like I said earlier, to these kinds of sensations, these feelings, these experiences. And it's an energy, it's a vibration, and it's a flash of information. And it's a little bit more difficult to stay in that flash of information because it's a little jolting. But you can do it. It just takes practice. Now, I appreciate everyone who joined me today. And I'll be back tomorrow. You can see that premiere tomorrow afternoon with Evelyn. I'm very grateful. I'll be back regularly next week. And I want to remind you to have an invisible line surrounding you. No one can come into your space unless you give permission, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. If you go out into the physical reality and you all of a sudden are getting jolts of maybe a headache, maybe pain, maybe you're feeling too much, turn down the dial. We speak about a dial. You have a dial that you can turn down, or you can put your arm across your heart, or you can imagine light circling you. You can imagine white light circling you, and you instantly will be protected. I do it every time I go to church because I get everyone's emotions and moods, whether it's good or bad. I don't want any of it. It's not my stuff. Now, there's nothing we can control out here in the physical reality. We can only control this. So know that. And that's the gold. Remind yourself that you are the gold. If you're organic and natural, you are a worthy being of light. You're cherished and loved. So have love for yourself, and eventually you can have love for others. So everyone be well. I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. And I want good things for you. And everyone have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you do something fun and fulfilling, and maybe find your passion or your mission. And we are all on our way to this new civilization, this new reality. And make a wish. You're in the center of light. And we are all going to experience things in our own personal way. I'm reminding you of that. I'm sending you light and love. And I'm reminding you that it's not going to be it's not going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be a little bumpy. Like yesterday when I had that experience where I received all this vibration, this energy, this frequency, and I didn't know what it was. It made me feel a little sick. So anyone watching this on a replay, I hope you write in the chat. I hope you write a comment, I should say, not in the chat. Write a comment. Oh, I got pain in my head. Write a comment and share information. I appreciate it. I'll be back next week. Everyone have a wonderful day and evening. Tonight was Nesara Gesara, Light Language, and Arcturian, the Arcturian Council. Okay. I'm not going to grab Elsa. She's all the way over there. Everyone be well. Bye.